It began as a joke. A group chat dare that spiraled into plans, an invitation-only weekend at an exclusive coastal resort. The kind of place whispered about online, no room numbers, no last names. Just private bungalows, first-name-only introductions, and a promise of discretion. A place where boundaries were rumored to dissolve under candlelight and ocean air. I hadn't been looking for anything, not really. But my marriage had dulled into routine long silences, the same arguments on repeat, and a sense of being invisible in my own life. When my wife pulled out at the last minute, something about work and a last-minute project, I considered canceling. Maybe it was a sign. But then my mother called. Newly divorced and restless, she'd caught wind I was going alone. She declared the beach sounded perfect and invited herself. I tried, awkwardly, to hint that this wasn't exactly a mother-son getaway kind of place. But she was persistent, charming in that youthful way that always made it hard to say no. My mom had always been bold. She laughed too loudly at inappropriate jokes, wore sundresses that made people glance twice. Still, this wasn't a trip I wanted to share with her. I told myself she'd stick to the spa, keep to her side of the resort. I told myself a lot of things. From the moment we arrived, I knew I'd made a mistake. The staff carried an air of sensuality, polished smiles, clothes that clung too closely, eyes that lingered. Even the way they said, "welcome," felt loaded. My mom said nothing, just took it all in with a cool smile, like it was any other resort. We got separate rooms. At dinner, she claimed she was tired and heading in early. Relieved, I wandered toward the far side of the property, where the infamous pool was rumored to be hidden behind palms and torches. As I walked, something in the air changed: the warmth of the evening, the pulse of low music, the sense that here, no one knew me. That was the thrill, anonymity. No ring, no name, just the dark, water, and potential. Then I saw her. She stood at the edge of the pool, drink in hand, wearing a black swimsuit that barely passed as clothing. She looked completely at ease, chatting with strangers, laughing like she'd always belonged. Our eyes met. She raised her glass and smiled. I froze. Told myself it was a trick of the light. It wasn't. I slipped toward the bar, pretending not to notice. Maybe she didn't know what this place really was. Maybe she thought it was just a trendy adults-only beach club. That fantasy held me upright as I ordered something strong and mind-numbing. From the corner of my eye, I saw her again. She mingled easily, touching arms, throwing her head back with laughter. She looked more alive than I'd seen her in years, before the divorce, before Dad left. A hostess with a clipboard passed by, inviting guests to join a game at the pool, icebreakers, masks provided, no names. I turned away. But my mom stepped forward, nodded, and accepted a blindfold with a grin. My heart dropped. She disappeared with the group. I stood there for what felt like an eternity, then, recklessly, stupidly, I followed. The blindfold was soft velvet, shutting out everything but touch and sound. We were led into the shallow end, instructed not to speak. Hands brushed, bodies collided. It was chaotic, dreamlike. Then someone found me. Her touch was confident, familiar in a way that sent a jolt through me. Fingers trailed my arms, paused at my shoulders. Our mouths met, hungry, curious. Her body pressed into mine beneath the water with a rhythm that felt dangerously specific. I knew. Somewhere deep down, I knew. Still, I didn't stop. When it ended, she left first, slipping away before I could pull the blindfold off. When I did, I searched the water. But everyone was anonymous again, faceless. The fantasy crumbled. The next morning, she sat at the breakfast table, casual in a breezy sundress, sipping coffee. She looked up and smiled. "Morning. Sleep well?" I nodded. Laughed. Lied. We never spoke of it, not then, not after. The rest of the trip was carefully staged normalcy. We posed for photos, told bad jokes, and played our roles. But every time our hands brushed, every time our eyes met a second too long, I felt it. The memory, electric and unspoken. We returned home. Life resumed. Holidays came and went. But sometimes, across a dinner table or during a quiet walk, I catch her watching me with a look that says, "I remember." And I know she knows I do too. Some lines, once crossed, don't lead back. Some moments live just beneath the surface, waiting. Some things, no matter how deep we bury them, never really stay buried.